Brandon Beane, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills, had his postseason presser. We love Brandon Beane. Absolutely love him. He's been very good to our show. He's been very good on our show. He is a guy who actually speaks. You know, I think he's an actual human. Here's him chit-chatting about the end of the game, having Josh Allen as his quarterback.
Yeah, it's frustrating. There's only so much I can say. We work with the league to try to get clarity, and I'll give them credit. They've taken our calls, they've sent video and things like that. I just, I wish, if you're talking about like the fourth down play, that was, I feel like he got that. I still feel like he got that. I felt that in the moment, and nothing has changed my mind on that.
Okay.
The play that we challenged, I thought was a good challenge. I'm not sure either player had possession on the Bishop Worthy play. When the ball touched the ground, you have to have possession. It's like, what is possession? And what Matt says is possession might not be what Elena says is possession. You know what I mean? It's a little bit. But when the ball touches the ground, someone has to have established possession. And, again, they've given how they see it, and that's their job. But it is what it is. I mean, those are just like plays we didn't make in a game too. So by no means are we saying that's why we lost the game.
He's saying, hey, listen, they've sent us a bunch of angles and they've answered our calls. In the moment, I thought he got the first down, and I haven't seen shit that has made me believe that we don't. I appreciate him saying that because his fans are going to want him to say that, and I appreciate him not just taking like the corporate, they said that they weren't able to overturn it and the call on the field, yada, yada, yada. Beane's living and dying with us too. We talk about Josh Allen, obviously, having to lose to the Chiefs every single year and how he is going to have to deal with it. We talked to Peyton in the first hour about Josh Allen having to continue to go. Brandon Beane, too. He knows he's staring down Veach in this Chiefs team until he's done. That's just kind of how it is, and I respect the hell out of him, and I think all of us who know him hope at some point he's able to get to the confetti, but that's going to be a tall task, Gage, and I think everybody kind of understands that.
Yeah, they do, and I think he handled it well where he didn't use it as a cop-out, didn't say, didn't freak out and say this is why we lost the game. Didn't really use it as an excuse, but he definitely let us know that, hey, I completely disagree with what the league is telling me. Yeah, they're communicating, but they're wrong, and I still feel the way I feel. But, yeah, what do? You got to move on. Like Peyton said, what are you going to do, sit there and feel sorry for yourself?
Bishop Worthy situation, he said nobody had possession of it at the time, but somebody had to be in control of it enough for the ball not to move when it hit the ground. And I assume that's where the NFL is coming from, is like, even if they were both in possession of it, the ball didn't budge when it hit the ground, which is what the modern ruling, I don't know when they changed that, because obviously what's a catch, what isn't a catch, has been debated ad nauseum over the last 10 years. Calvin Johnson, Des Bryant, you name it. There are so many of those moments. But I think the common understanding now is as long as the ground doesn't affect the ball or help the catch at all, they are not going to overturn it or say that the ground, it's down. So when that ball hits and it doesn't move, even though it was very clearly who's in possession of it, I think the NFL can say, well, we don't care. It's about, did the ball move or not on the ground? And Brandon Beane doesn't want to hear that. No. Brandon Beane doesn't want to hear, well, nobody's in possession of it, hits the ground, shouldn't it be? Isn't that dead? If we're touching it, we're out of bounds, it's dead. This one touches the ground, nobody said it shouldn't be. So I can see why he's upset, and all the things that the internet's conspiring about their Chiefs getting the refs call. Think about what Beane and the boys behind the scenes are going. They're kicking, I assume, every aggregated video of every call that has not been made or the Bills getting screwed. They've watched that in the building 1,000 times. Thank you. At least people are going to bat. Thank you for doing that. Brandon Beane had to rebuild the team. Josh Allen is going to have to rebuild a team again. They're going to have to go in and try to start at the bottom of the mountain to get all the way back to the AFC Championship next year. And I think we all believe in Beane and we all believe in Josh Allen. It stinks for Bills Mafia that you continue to have to go for this, but at least, like Peyton said, it happened at the end of the season at the end of the playoffs as opposed to at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, Josh is starting to get into that point now where, Rodgers was for a long time, where Mahomes is, where it's almost like no matter who they bring in receiver-wise, Josh is going to elevate them and make them much, much better. But you also have to wonder. Excuse me.
Oh, no.
I know, you just got a little swallowed a bug.
Choked up.
Yeah, getting choked
Talk
up.
about old school football.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Brandon Beane having to.
All the above.
Yeah.
But you have to wonder if they did bring in like a high-end wide receiver one, like how much that would help and just open up the entire offense, because the team was better overall, and maybe, like some of the stuff, like the locker room stuff with Diggs, like they kind of avoided that and didn't have to deal with that this year. But it's also no question, like if Diggs was out there, does he make that catch on third down? Not to throw, Dalton under the bus, but like they need a guy that when you absolutely like the Chiefs going out and getting who they traded for this year?
D-Hop?
Yeah, D-Hop. Like getting a guy who hey, 3rd and 8, like we can go to this guy. He's going to catch it. He's going to move the chains. Like I feel like the Bills still need a guy like that for Josh Allen, so he doesn't feel like he has to do everything on his own.
Yeah, Kincaid was almost going to become that guy for them. I think they're still trying. Shakir became a great weapon for them and will continue to grow in that particular role. You lose wide receiver 1, Stephon Diggs. They said it got better as a whole. And then obviously a conversation as soon as it's over is like, well, if you had a number 1, and they're going to find things. You're going to find things to kind of throw at the rust of construction if you don't win a Super Bowl. That's certainly when it's getting brought back up.
Yeah, also kind of not being talked about, like what happened to Amari Cooper? Like Amari Cooper, when he got traded to Buffalo, obviously was known as that guy, and kind of everything. Did he not play as much? Like, to be honest, I don't really remember him being on the field.
Got the ball early, I think. Didn't he get targeted early on like a little quick?
Yeah, but
like
it feels like he either never like got fully used to the offense or something, because he is that guy. Like, he is someone you can rely on an every down basis. And, we heard Saban talk about him. Like, all the guy does is work. So it was just weird kind of how they used him or how they didn't use him. And I wonder if there is more to that, just because, like, Mac Hollins kind of became their deep ball kind of
He had the most touchdowns of the wide receiver room for the Buffalo Bills. The animal costume, he had a great catch.
Yeah.
He did.
Who, Elmo, you mean?
I think it was animal. Was it animal?
I thought it was Sesame Street.
Was it?
Why did he go back on the field with the animal suit on after I saw that? Was that real?
I don't like. How does he exit these games?
Same way, just with his head down, just a little more embarrassed.
Yeah, just last.
Okay. Well, hey, I respect that he is who he is.
I think it's like a TikTok gimmick, and he does a lot on there.
Oh, no.
Dressed in those costumes.
Oh, no. Well, they need to figure that one out.
Yeah, they do.
They need to figure that one out. Hopefully, the Bills are able to continue to be great with Josh Allen as quarterback. We assume that'll be the case. Mac Hollins, obviously a dog, walks around barefoot everywhere. Good for them. Only one team is going to be happy at the end of the year. Only one fan base is going to be able to say we had the best team in the league. So no matter when you lose, it's going to suck. And people are obviously going to throw, accusations on what's good, done better.